Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once more to this page. Uh, Here we study groundwater and how it can be used and all that. So that is what we are looking at. So in this episode, we'll be looking at um, types of groundwater based on their location underground. Based on their location underground. But before we proceed, I would like to say a very big thank you for the support so far, the support that you've given to this channel and all that you've done for us, for liking, for subscribing, for everything. I'm very, very grateful. And then I hope that you continue in that same manner. And you continue to like, subscribe, press on the notification button. And one more thing, let us share this video so that it will go viral and that whoever needs it can have access to it and it will educate a lot of us so that we going forward we know what to do when it comes to groundwater. So today, like I mentioned, we're going to look at types of groundwater based on their location or where we find it underground. Now, when we talk about finding groundwater underground, one thing that comes to mind is something we call aquifer. Aquifer system is the place where the water is found underground. So underground is like an aquifer system. So that is where the location, that place underground is where we get what groundwater. So when you excavate, you get that area where the water comes from. It's called an aquifer. Now, we have three types of aquifer systems or aquifers. And the first one that we'll talk about is called confined aquifer. Confined aquifer means that there's a confining material that restricts the movement of the water. You want to say something is confined, it is within some some material that holds it together that it's unable to move outside those things, or a boundary that a block that holds the thing in one place that it cannot move beyond those blocks. So this thing too is true with groundwater. So let's say we have a rock below the water and above it. You see that it cannot move in between. Like, then this rock are not permeable. They are completely not permeable. And when you say permeable, they don't allow water to go through them. So it means that the water is confined. So with this kind of aquifer, there's so much pressure on the groundwater. So when you drill through this aquifer, what happens is that the pressure will force the water to come out of the well. So you see that the water will flow to the surface on its own without inducing anything, any pressure or putting in any submersible pump. Now, when it happens like that, it means that you maybe you've tapped, or it's likely, most likely that you've tapped into the a confined aquifer. So that is what happens. Now, the next one is semi-confined aquifer. When you say semi-confined aquifer, what it means is that the confined material is at one end, and the other end there's no confined material. Let's say you are drilling from the surface, there's no material. That's the weathered zone. But when you get deeper and deeper, you go and meet, and then um, you go and meet a rock that does not allow water to go through it. So with that, it means that this is a semi-confined. One end is having a confining material, that's the rock below, and above it too, there's no confining material. It can be vice versa. The confining material will be on top, and then the remaining ones become below it. There's no confining material. So that is the second one, and that one we have it generally all over. Now the third one is an unconfined aquifer. Unconfined. So it means that there's no boundary at both ends. That's what it means. So the water just go through it and then they move through the pores and then they fill in the pores. So that is what an unconfined aquifer is. Now we have two other ones. We have two other ones which are the aquitard and the aquiclude. When you talk about an aquitard is a kind of aquifer system that has um, a confining material. But this confining material is permeable. It's permeable, but not too much permeable. It can hold water and release it slowly, slowly. You know, it can hold water and release it slowly. Let's say a confining material like clay. Clay can hold the water and release it slowly. It is not, it is porous but not permeable. And it takes a lot of, and we studied this during the types of soil thing we did in the basic schools. You realize that it can hold water. It can hold water, but allowing it to come out does it slowly, very, very slowly. So that's the aqueduct. Then we have another one called aquiclude. The aquiclude, what happens is that for that one, it can take all the water within itself but not release it out. It can imbibe all the water, it can hold the water, but it will not release it. So that one is an aquiclude. Now, so these are the five types, but the first three are the major ones that we have, the major ones. There's another thing called a purged aquifer. A purged aquifer is an aquifer system that lies on top of another. Let's say um, we have a semi-confined aquifer, but on top of it too, there's another thing. Maybe that one, those ones are not big. Some small portion of the earth having, let's say, some confining material at that portion, and on top there's no confining material. So you see that when it rains or something and there's infiltration, it gets to that place, and then it does what the water holds there. The water is collected at that place. So you can tap it. So in those areas, they don't normally it may not be that massive, or sometimes to you realize that when you exploit the water, it doesn't take much and then it gets finished. And there are problems. It's all these types also come with their own, come with their own challenges. So you'll be looking at them in some subsequent videos. And I want to say that on the 15th of October, I'll be doing a presentation, and that one I'll go live on YouTube, and I'll show step by step approach of getting a borehole done. So some of these things that I mentioned in our videos too, I may repeat them. I may repeat some of them, and then we look at the processes and the challenges that come with it. So let's stay glued to this channel, and let's like it. Let us subscribe to it. Let us share it. Let us press on the notification button. So on the 15th of October, I'll go live and I'll do a presentation for all of us. So just hang on, like just be in expectation, be expecting something massive so that we can all get educated. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your time.